smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
No, Moan is amazing, and I saw that shit. I saw
Well,
the
we can't wait,
stunt y'all
man.
pulled.
Y'all.
You were not involved in that. I don't think you were involved.
No, I wasn't. Not me neither.
Yeah, they're not where the entertainment of the show comes from.
Why you do that?
Because they're able to be mature and be themselves, and that's a privilege. Like, Ish is cool.
That's still
He
entertaining.
gets to be cool. So, no, you ain't got to look at them. Look at the niggas. look up this way. What the fuck is you talking about?
Look at the niggas that set it up on fire.
That's fucked up, yo.
Sorry.
It's peace.
Me and you got to go to dinner again, I think. So,
Really? No, I
I
don't think so.
think just got to see what's going on. Quick little temp check. Check the temperature, see how my man is doing.
What's going on, y'all? We are back with the files. And listen, man, it ain't a game, and this clipping ain't the same. All right, listen. Let's get right into it, because this one right here, it got layers, and it's crazy. A lot of static. Listen. On the episode titled Jaded Avengers, Wale pulled up to the Joe Budden podcast and things got real. But it wasn't necessarily Wale that brought it, that brought all the heat. It was what happened after he left that really stirred the pot. So the crew, they was chopping it up as usual, and Melissa Ford starts talking about how much she loves Mona, the personality out of Philly who also podcasts and wears a lot of hats in the media industry. Y'all remember Mona sat in for Mel the day she wasn't on the pod. Now pay attention. Joe, he started throwing out a lot of slick comments about Mel just to see if Mona would slip up. But Mona stood 10 toes down, holding firm on her love for Mel respectfully, right? But here's the kicker. That little stunt was just for entertainment. It was all for entertainment. Joe knew darn well that the fans would start stirring up rumors about Mel getting replaced just because somebody else warmed her seat for one episode. Petty, maybe. Strategic, maybe. Or both, right? Now, when Mel peeped the funny moves when she watched the pod over, she let the team know. And we just played it in that clip right there. She saw what was going on. Ish, Ice, and Flip were quick to wash their hands of it. They were like, nah, that wasn't me. But Joe stood tall and basically said, they're not where the entertainment of the show comes from. What? That was crazy. That was super wild. Even if it was wrapped up in a joke, come on, like jokes be 85% truth. You know what I'm saying? 15% joke and all that. Especially with Joe. There's always a little bit of truth hidden in his shade. Imani didn't like that comment at all. He was sitting right there. But Joe, you know what I mean? He wasn't talking to E. It was about Ice and Ish. Now, to be fair, Ice and Ish do have their moments. They have improved a lot, no question. Ice used to be stiff, but he has grown into a role where, he be challenging Joe a little bit more. He's less sensitive now, and he's learning the game, it seems. But let's really talk about it. How entertaining are they really? Do they get into passionate debates with Joe? Do they share compelling stories that give you insight into their lives? When a topic drops, do they frame it like they've lived it, like put it into their own shoes? I mean, Ish hasn't cracked the muffin in months. But let's be honest, right? Lately, Joe's been calling them out mid-episode. Like, why y'all on your phones? Do y'all even, do y'all have a take on this? That's what Joe's been saying, all of these things. You can see the frustration bubbling up, right? He's constantly having to pull opinions out of them, either forcefully or through laughter, comedy. Like, he got to do all of that. And yes, this is the Joe Budden podcast, so it's his job to lead. But the level of babysitting, it gets draining, and it's showing on camera. Now, here's the bigger picture. The Joe Budden Network is cooking though, right? They got the Ian and Mark show that's giving the office vibes. They got Pod Wives, the relationship joint. They got the main pod, right, that comes on YouTube. Then they got the Patreon podcast that's like the exclusive joint just for the subscribers. And they be doing animated shorts and random heat they be dropping on YouTube. Now, just being transparent, Joe, he wants to rotate more people on those couches. More faces, more energy, more engagement. But with rotation comes change, right? And change affects airtime. It affects roles. It affects pay. So yeah, the network will grow, but that same expansion might phase some folks out. Only the strong may survive, right? Now let's be real. Joe's probably never going to fire Ice and Ish. They held him down when Rory and Maul bounced. They stepped up during the darkest time of the pod. And that loyalty buys them grace, but it doesn't exempt them from criticism, right? Joe will create around them. And if they can't keep up, well, that's on them. Remember when I dropped that video, Ish Back? Strike 3 coming. That was the title of the video. You guys can go back and watch it. In that, I told y'all, Joe warned Ish, Joe one more time, and I'm flaming you up. But Ish didn't push it. He didn't challenge Joe at all. He never does. Now, let's jump into this recent behind the scenes clip. Joe tells Ice and Ish that he'll let their laughter slide twice, but if they laugh the third time, it's going to get ugly. And that's wild, right? Look at the files.
I know, but the laughter the first time, I let it go because y'all my man.
If somebody say something funny,
If you laugh, the third time you laugh, it could turn up on you.
That's okay. I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
The street rules.
They know that. Ain't no goddamn street. They know that.
You talking about?
yeah, you know what street rules is for? The sucker nigga that can't beat the nigga that's making the jokes. So they go to the other niggas that's laughing and be like, why you laughing?
Yes. That's why I'm telling you and Ice.
Oh shit.
I know. So
I'm telling. Why do you think I'm telling you and Ice? Yo, I let the laughter. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, he made the joke again. I'm gonna laugh because it's a funny joke.
Yo, not just that. Let me tell you
All
something.
right, then you gotta start your little Invisalign program over again. All right. Hey, you can laugh all you want. That shit was about 11 months.
Big dog, you get slammed here, big dog. Just know that. That's crazy shit.
My veneer gonna pop right back in. You gonna go from day one. I remember.
with the black beard, with the shoe polish. Yo, Free, we was carrying your ass when you left off. Y'all suckers for that. Wait for a nigga to walk out.
Woo! Why is Joe policing the laughs like that? Has he instilled fear into his friends, or is it just out of respect for the craft? Now, Ish didn't challenge Joe when he came back from his little hiatus after their previous arguments, right? Even when Mark cracked the joke, everyone played it safe. Ice pushed back a little. He said, big dog, if the joke is funny again, you know what I mean? If another joke is funny, I'm going to laugh, right? But Joe checked him quick, reminding him that if he keep it up, he going to have to start from scratch. Now, Ice threw a little jab in there like that, he'll slide Joe, like he'll snuff Joe and all that if Joe keep continuing the jokes. But look, I get it. They're friends, right? They're joking. And on the surface, this may look a little harmless, like fun. Maybe Dub is reaching. But underneath all of that is real tension. Joe knows they're not delivering the way he needs. And because they're his boys, he's not going to let them go. He'll just create around them until they feel it. Right? So here's the question. Will Ice and Ish step up and become the pod stars Joe needs? Or will they just get left behind while Joe quietly builds the next generation of couch talent? And let's not ignore this, right? When Joe told Imani he wanted to take him to dinner, that wasn't random. Joe knows Imani sees the vision. Imani saw that Flip brought a layer of entertainment that Ish and Ice simply don't. So now Joe might be testing Imani too. Where's his loyalty? Who is he willing to defend? And more importantly, who's next to get rotated out? Right? Because it's a lot of stuff going on in here. It's a lot of stuff going on in here, man. It's like Joe really got these dudes shook up. They don't want to laugh. They don't want to joke. They don't want to challenge their mans. You see, in this clip right here, they should have challenged Joe. I feel like Joe wants them to challenge them. But they not giving it up. They not giving it up. Like, Ice really just laughed it out and was like, all right, yo, all right, y'all got it. Y'all suckers for joking on me. Y'all suckers for joking on me. Like, come on, man. Ice, slide him. Slide him on cam. Just get crazy. Nah, tell him like, yo, we saved you, homie. We saved you. Don't be talking crazy like that to us. That's what he wants. He wants the performance. He wants y'all to get crazy. He wants y'all to let your nuts hang. Wild out. Have fun. He not going to fire y'all. Y'all the homies. Come on, man. Listen, I had the files for y'all. I laid it out. I showed y'all that what Joe is saying, that couch is not entertaining, that's real. There's more files that back that up, that back up this claim that I'm saying. By him creating more and more, and the goal being, rotating the couch and all of that does is prove the point.
That now granted, he wanted to switch from a music podcast, but he really had to take a total shift because of Ice's music opinions, and fucking Ice just don't know shit about music or care to do anything extra for the job. Now the fact now they look at it now this is an assumption. I feel like they look at it as like, nigga, we saved you. You didn't bring us in here to do that. We're gonna be ourselves. Like, I'm not doing all that extra shit. Ice is the inside nigga. He's very honest about who he is. He don't like being joked on about nothing. They just want to be seen as them. That's not working for Joe, because I can't already do music with you niggas. You niggas, we don't talk politics or other important shit. Nobody here ever has facts. We're always just going off our experiences and shit. And Joe's part of that too. I'm sure he knows that. But it's like, he don't like not having that from fucking Ish and Ice.
Yeah,
But he
it's
has to
co-host.
keep them because they saved them. That's why they'll probably never be fired. Like, it's going to take a lot for them two to get fired. They came and saved the show. Like, they're not going nowhere. So what Joe has to do to get more income is, I have to do the show thing and work on getting this deal. And I have to hire more people. Like, I can't do this, because first it was boring and not funny, and there was no light, so they brought in Flippin' Mel. You know what I'm saying? So now, all right, I get my funny, my entertainment, but Flip comes with his issues and all of his bullshit, which is like, of course, you're getting more than you give him. It would be good if they actually did lean into some of the shit, or try to be a little bit entertaining, like, because we've seen how important it is. Because when you get somebody like Mark who's so good, you really get a breath of fresh air. Like, you start to, like, now for the first time, I started to not miss, well, this, you can't say this, but for me, the first time, I started to not miss the Rory and Moore era. Like, I'll still watch old episodes and clips, and it's still funny, but I feel like the shit has got to a level to closest as it was before. It's not there. Don't get it twisted, because Ice and Ish is still there, not doing nothing. But this is the closest I felt to, like, I don't give a fuck if these niggas never come back. Like, I'm gonna still watch Danny's videos on it. I'm gonna still miss them and shit, but it's the first time where I'm like, oh, nah, this shit rocking. This shit make me feel exactly how I used to feel.
So drop a comment below and let me know, are Ice and Ish still holding it down, or are they just holding on? And do you think Joe should start phasing in new voices for good? Or is this all part of a bigger master plan? Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back with the files.
My guy Dub too. That's my man though.
Gang gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.